Hey, what's going on, people? There, we're taking a look at the Crew 2. So the story for this game is basically you start off at the bottom, you're a nobody, and you rise to the top until you can take on the champion of each type of racing discipline. There are 4 types of racing disciplines in this game. There's street racing, off-road, freestyle, and pro racing. So let's start off with what I liked about this game, and that's going to be the progression system. So how it works in this game is there are 5 different levels. Every time you fill up the progression bar, you level up, and then you unlock more events and more races that you can compete in. But what Ubisoft did to make it more interesting was, instead of just calling it levels, there are 5 different types of social status. The progression bar, instead of XP, they call it followers. So the more followers you get, you level up and you get a higher social status. By the time you're finished completing all the events for one entire level, by the time you level up, you have enough money to buy another car that can help you compete in other events, because the game only gives you 3 vehicles for free, and after that, if you want to compete in more events, you have to buy the car that can compete in that particular race discipline. But it isn't done there when it comes to upgrading your cars. This kind of has a speed card system similar to Need for Speed 2017, but it does it even better. Every time you finish a race, you don't just get 1 speed card, you get at least 2 or 3, and they are always higher level than what you currently have in your car. So you don't really have to do any type of grinding in this game until near the end, where you have to buy expensive cars like a Formula 1 or a hypercar or maybe a touring car. But other than that, the progression system in this game made it a really smooth and enjoyable playthrough, and the cars that they give you for free, you can keep upgrading them and they last you till the end of the game. So yeah, this was a pretty enjoyable playthrough. Next up is gonna be the physics. So the handling model for this game, it's pretty good. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. It's not super easy, but of course it's not difficult like a sim racer. I put it somewhere like in the middle. If you're accustomed playing racing games, then you'll get accustomed to this straight off the bat. If you aren't, you just may take an hour or so to get accustomed, but after that you should be fine. Some cars, when they start off, they're pretty slow and stiff, but as you slowly upgrade them, then they start to handle better and they get faster. So yeah, the handling model made this a pretty enjoyable game. Next up is going to be the content and different types of disciplines. There's a lot of content in this game, so this should last you a while. There's a ton of races for you to do. Remember, it says there are 4 different types of racing disciplines. There's kind of a subgenre under all of them, so this should keep you occupied for a while. There's something called photo ops, where they give you a hint and you have to go driving around and searching for that particular object and then take a picture of it, so that also keeps you occupied. And I think they made this game with creators in mind, kind of like myself, because there's a pretty good video editor, there's a pretty cool photo mode, and there's also a livery editor. So yeah, for people who like to make videos, then this game has you covered on all of those fronts. Next is going to be the world and the environment. So the map for this game is the entire USA, and the scale is pretty large. Took me like an hour and some with some friends to drive from one part of the map to the other. So yeah, you're gonna have a ton of fun just driving around the entire USA. The environments are pretty good. Like, it changes pretty slowly, but the scenery is also pretty good to watch. So if you're in a city, you'll see a lot of buildings, people walking around, but as you slowly start to drive out of the city, you start seeing buildings less and less, more greenery, and then you'll just see absolutely nothing, just a barren wasteland and just a road, and there's absolutely no traffic, so you can just drive as fast as you want and not have to worry about crashing. So yeah, this game was a ton of fun to drive around with friends. But speaking of friends, that's something else that I like, the co-op in this game. You can actually complete this entire story mode in co-op, playing with your friends. So one of you starts a race, all of the others join on you, and when that race is finished, it's going to count as completed for everyone in the race, so you can play the entire story mode co-op with your friends. And lastly is the end game content. So once you finish the story mode, well, not even if you finish the story mode, once you hit icon level, it unlocks this skill tree, basically, where you can modify the way the game plays and your car. So for instance, you can start modifying the amount of money you get, the amount of followers you get, so you level up faster. You can upgrade your nitrous so it's more powerful, so the meter refills faster by itself, or refills while you're braking, jump, drifting. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff that you can customize to alter your gameplay once you hit icon level, which I like. I found out that was really interesting. So that's it for the pros. Now onto the cons. Here's what I didn't like about this game. Audio problems. This game had a lot of audio problems, a lot of audio dropouts. I couldn't hear my car sometimes. I completed an entire race where I couldn't hear my car or any of the AI cars around me. So yeah, it does have some audio issues going on. Next is going to be the lighting. So there's a day and night cycle in this game, but when it comes to nighttime, driving in first person, which I like to do a lot, they pretty much did not animate any headlights. So while you're outside of the car, sure, there are headlights there. They're not that bright, but you know, they're still there. Once you go in first person mode, the headlights just disappear. So once you're driving on any roads that don't really have street lights, then you're kind of fucked, because you won't be able to see where you're going, and what makes it worse, you cannot adjust the brightness in the game by itself. There's no option for that in the settings, so yeah, for right now, nighttime is a problem. Next is going to be control scheme. I like to play my driving games in manual, and the control scheme for manual is terrible. They have gear up and gear down mapped to L1 and R1. Yeah, holding the control like that is not very comfortable. It's terrible mapping. Lucky for me, I changed the mapping in the PS4 menu to triangle and square like how normal racing games do it, so I think they should adjust that mapping. Next is going to be the catch-up or rubber banding. It works fine for the pro discipline and off-road because those are circuit races, so everyone tends to like stay close behind one another, which is fine. But when it comes to street racing, how the catch-up works is weird. It's based on where you are in the track. They actually did over certain races and just watch the AI. So rather than being based around the player, how catch-up works in street races is it depends on which part of the track you're on, because you would be in first place, you'd hit this particular part of the track, and all the AI would just catch up to you and pass you. Once you get out of that area, everyone just starts falling back. So I don't know why they chose to do it like this. Personally, I don't think catch-up or rubber banding should be a thing in racing games, but that's just me. And next is going to be the hypercar races due to their length. Regular street races are like 3-4 minutes max, but the hypercar races are 10 minutes plus. One of them is even like half an hour long. I don't know who thought making a half-hour long race was a good idea. Yeah, it's a no. Lastly is going to be the car list for this game. The car list for this game is decent, it's okay, but the problem is it has a lot of unwanted cars that I think they could have replaced with cars that people actually would want. So for instance, I mean, sure, it's cool to have an Abarth 500 monster truck or a touring car Cadillac, but no one really asks for these or would, you know, want to drive with these unless you're just trying to do something stupid or make a stupid video, I guess. And I forgot to talk about the customization. How the customization works in this game, either you're gonna love it or hate it. Me personally, I don't mind it because I think everyone's gonna find something that they like. So rather than being able to change individual parts like the front bumpers, the headlights, hoods, etc., they kind of group all that together. So if you're gonna change the front bumper, it changes the front bumper, the headlights, and it might add canards or an intercooler. So yeah, it kind of groups all the customization into a bunch of different parts, which I think people may not like. But on the flip side, there are a ton of different options, so I think you will find a combination of parts that you will like. So yeah, customization is 50-50. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my review of this game. So final verdict, can I recommend this game? I can. I really can. If you were disappointed by Need for Speed 2017 and you're looking for an arcade racer, I could recommend you pick this up. It's a lot of fun to play with friends. Despite the issues that it has, like the lighting and the audio dropouts, I still had a ton of fun playing it. To be honest, all this game has to do is add more cars and events, and I think this game could last a very long time. But that's been it for my review of The Crew 2. So if you found this video helpful, you can leave a like or share it around. If you have this game, comment down below what are your thoughts on it, and subscribe for more gaming reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.